Hey friends, CamiBaker.com here, and I am on my way to a very interesting gathering with someone that I met networking and my 18-year-old daughter. So my question to you is, if you're like me and you have teenagers or kids in your life, or family members or people that that maybe like myself, the connection has not been as solid. My daughter's 18, and in the last couple of years, we haven't had the bonding, the hand-holding, the going to amusement parks, the sleepovers that we used to have. It's just been very hard to get her to communicate with me. And so there's two things that have happened to me in my networking and in creating my networking strategies that have unfolded into me being able to communicate with my daughter in a better way. So I want to share them with you. Number one of the strategies that I'm using, the class that I'm having, the up to 30 highly qualified leads in 30 days in as little as 30 minutes a day. One of the things that I'm talking about is leaving voice or video messages via Facebook Messenger. So here's what's interesting about this. My daughter, who will not respond to a text, and if she does, it's days later and it's one line and you don't really get anything out of it. I started leaving her voice messages via Facebook Messenger. I started singing her little songs that I used to sing to her when she was a baby, things that I knew would make her smile and laugh. So I sent her some just a 60-second, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." Within a half an hour, she sent back to me the same thing, a voice message of her singing a song to me, and we went back and forth like that. So the texting wasn't getting her attention, but the voicemails did. And now I've elevated it up to the video messages. Now, video message is only 15 seconds. But the beauty of that is you don't have to spend a ton of time. You don't have to ramble on. People don't have a lot of time, short attention spans. So you say what you got to say and get it done quick. So I've been doing these video messages to my daughter, and I'll send her something. "Hey, Puna, Mommy surely does miss you. When can we get together? What does your work schedule look like? Do you want to do it this weekend or on Monday?" Took all of 15 seconds. But what's happening is she is responding back to me the way that I'm communicating with her, and now I'm getting these messages from her. So now I get to see her. Now I get videos of her. She'll take a minute. She'll just say, "Well, Mom, I got to check my work schedule and I'll get back to you, but it really needs to be on the weekend because of school, etc." But the beauty of it, if you're a parent and you're having a hard time getting your children to communicate, you know how it is. They're so busy with their friends. They will communicate all day long with their friends, but to get them to text you or respond, for me personally, has been a challenge. And so just using this strategy, which I also use with business people and building relationships with them, has now played over into my personal relationship with my daughter. And now I get to see her on video, and it's a new way for us to communicate. So there's that. Being able to send your children a message and actually see them back. The other thing is, I went to a networking event about 3 weeks ago, and one of the gentlemen there, Mark Beckley, is a computer genius, and one of the things he is passionate about is helping teenagers to learn how to build computers. He knows that when a teenager will build a computer, if you buy a teenager a computer for $500, they have no reverence for it. They bust it, they break it, so what? They don't care. It's just another entitlement thing. Yeah, they got it, so what? But Mark knows that when they build their own computer, they have personal pride. It is something that they created. It is their own. And it's statistically proven that they take much better care of it. It lasts a lot longer, etc. So there's that aspect. There's also the aspect of self-accomplishment, that they actually accomplish something. And teenagers in general, you know, to have something that they can feel proud that, wow, I really accomplished something as big. And while they're building the computer, they learn skills that could be something that leads to the next career for them, gives them something to focus on besides drugs or other mindsets that could keep them from being as productive as they could. So he's talking to me about how he does this, you know, helps kids build computers. He said, I'm having a hard time finding a female that wants to do it. And I talked to him about my daughter, and he said, well, what about her? And I said, well, Mark, I can barely get her to talk to me. I mean, when we're together, we're good. We're thick as thieves. We're good friends. But we're so distant that the communications are few and far between. And I said, I promise you, if I suggested, she's not going to want to do it because anything I suggest, she poo-poos on. He said, well, put her in touch with me. So I ended up putting her in touch with him. And now, today, after several Facebook messages back and forth, etc., I'm driving to Reading, Mass., and I'm meeting my daughter there, and we're going to spend 4 or 5 hours with Mark teaching her how to put together a computer. And so my networking, my ability to get out and NetWeb, leverage, be strategic, etc., and be able to create these relationships and conversations have now led to not, you know, people will say, Cami, I went to a networking event and nothing really happened, because in their minds, if they don't get a contract signed, if they don't sell a product, if they don't get somebody to join their business, if they don't get a referral, etc., it was a waste of time. And I always tell people, listen, just like a spider is building her web, each connection means something so empowering, because it takes all those connections to build a strong web so that she can sit back and now wait for things to come to her. So each one of those little connections we make may or may not be a check that's written to you today or a deal that's cut, but it could mean something bigger and stronger for something else. And so, as I drive down to Massachusetts today to meet my daughter, to watch her build this computer, to have that quality time together that we wouldn't have had, to see her get the confidence of, wow, I can actually build a computer, and for her to have a computer that she will have reverence for, that she will respect and take care of and not just throw around. All these things came from my ability to get out and network, NetWeb, leverage my time, and talk to people not from a place of, how can I get business from you? How can I get you to pay me for something? But just talking and creating, collaborating to create the impact, income, and influence. And in this case, my NetWebbing has created an impact on my daughter, which is one of the people, one of the human beings on the planet that I want to impact, that I want to make income for, and that I'd love to influence over time. So don't focus on your networking, your NetWebbing, as a way of just getting a contract signed. Look at it from a bigger perspective. Your family, your children, your community is waiting, is wondering, when are you going to take these networking situations and actually be strategic and plan and create that which you talk about. You talk about having a big empire. You talk about selling a lot of products. You talk about growing your business and recruiting people. You talk about making a lot of money, but all your friends and family see you doing is going out to all these networking events and not having anything happen. So let's be planned and strategic, because today I am not getting paid. I am not signing a contract. I don't know where this will go as far as what's next with me and Mark. Maybe we'll do business in some aspect. I don't know. But for today, one of the most important things that can ever come out of going to a networking event is happening for me, because I'm having impact and influence on a teenage daughter that I can barely communicate with, but now we have set up this time, quality time. So I simply invite you to look at these events that you're going to, not as, who can buy my product? Who can I get to recruit? You know, who's going to give me a referral? Who can I sit down and have a cup of coffee and give them the pitch that I do? Stop it. Start looking at this as all a collaboration of planting seeds and not knowing where it's going, and stop having that icky entitlement or what's in it for me or just all of that stuff. Just go with an open heart and see what wonderful things will happen for you by going. Because for me, this is invaluable. This didn't make me $10,000 or $100,000. What this did was, this is creating a time where this could change the whole trajectory of my daughter's life. She could have such confidence from this ability to build this computer that she just feels good enough about herself to not drink or drug when that time comes up. She may decide, hey, this is a career I want to do, and it puts her on a different trajectory. It could be that none of that happens, but she and I have 3 or 4 hours to just laugh and be focused on something that's not a weird, awkward situation where we can just talk and get to know each other a little bit better. And any of those scenarios is perfect for me to have accomplished impact and influence with one of the people who is most important to me in the world right now today. And it all came from going to a networking thing, but being open to any and everything that can come from that. Are you doing that? Are you doing that? Because that's one of the things that I teach my clients and in my programs. So listen, reach out to me if you'd like to know how to do these Facebook Live messengers. There is a skill to it. There is a template that I have. There's a script. There's a way to reach out to people that makes them respond to you instantly. Whether it's your children, whether it's somebody that you know that you've been trying to get on the phone for a while, but you haven't been able to, and now you send them a video message and bam, they're messaging you back and you're setting up that appointment. It could be a Facebook person that you just friended up and you don't even know them, but because you send a voicemail or a video, you stand out in the top 1% of anyone on Facebook that is not just accepting, or God forbid, all they're doing is sending over a text or, hey, here's a link to my website. I'd love for you to give me your opinion on my product. Stop doing all that. Take the 15 seconds for a video, the 60 seconds for a voicemail. Do something personal so that you can actually acquire up to 50 qualified leads. Excuse me, 50. 50's for me. I'm jumping it up. 30 qualified leads in 30 days in as little as 30 minutes a day. And this is how I do it. You can do it with the Facebook Messenger. You can do it with different emails and templates that I have to reach out to different meetup groups. You can learn how to research, reach out, and relationship build before you walk into an event. And now you're just randomly another bozo on the bus with your hands sticking out, asking people what they do. Or you could actually walk in there with some strategic partners already lined up that makes you leverage your time. This is what I teach. I teach people how to do this. And for me today, what this has come into fruition is, it's not getting me on some big stage in front of 1,000 people. It's not getting me paid $10,000 for a speaking gig or for a new one-on-one client. It is getting me quality time with one of the human beings on the planet that means the most to me. So it works in every aspect of your being. So my question to you is, who is it that you have not had a conversation with lately that you would like to connect with? Your child, your sister, a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time, a colleague that you would like to break the ice and get back into rapport with, a brand new person that's friended you on Facebook, and you take a second to look at their profile and you see, wow, they're quite connected. We've got a lot going on, but you just didn't know how to reach out to them. Reach out to these people. Send them a video message, send them a voicemail. And if you really, really want to hone your skills and leverage how you're doing it so that you're getting the results that I am and my other clients are getting with this, send me a message. I am trying so hard not to be always, putting business into this, but when these tips come out, I just can't help but say, look, there are so many ways to build your relationships, business-wise or personal-wise, and that's what this product does. So let me know that you're interested, and you can, by the way, go to Cami Baker CamiBaker.com and order my book. Talk to you guys later. I got to go see my kid. Bye.